Jennifer Sheedy is a woman living out Jesus to our residents. As the house director of our Providence house, Jen eats breakfast with, has tough conversations with, and counsels men and women that she lives with. Her professional qualifications, a master's in counseling psychology and a CAC-3, which is a certified addictions counselor, prepare her with the clinical knowledge and best practices. But her heart radiates that God is for our residents and not against them. Please welcome Jennifer as she shares the story of what it's like to create family in a Providence Network home.
Thank you. Well, that was a nice introduction. I appreciate it. I think you already thanked you all for being here, but I just wanted to say thank you myself. One of the things I really believe in is the power of team, and I didn't always believe in that. Dana Jones, actually, the director of Joy House, instilled in me the idea that this work is done best and really only as part of a team, when we are a team. So whether you're here already part of the Providence team or you're just kind of checking it out, I really appreciate it. So a few weeks ago, my mom asked me, what did you do with your weekend? What did you do Friday and Saturday night? And I chuckled a little bit. She's asked me this before many times, still expecting that her single 30-something daughter living in the city would be out, with friends. And I reminded her, Mom, my circle of friends, my social network is in my home. Where would I go? Eddie and Chris, they're like big brothers to me, always looking out for me, but also jumping at any opportunity to get a laugh, often at my expense. April, she's like an aunt. She teaches me as much as I teach her. She's got a few decades more experience. Tommy is kind of like a sister. We have been to hell and back, she and I. Home is, for me, it's where you're known. It's where relationships go beneath the surface. It's where you're most yourself, where people can poke fun at you because they've earned your trust. For me, home is Providence House, and I wouldn't want it any other way. Living with 17 residents and 4 staff is not exactly a normal lifestyle, and I realize that, and it's hard sometimes, but after almost 4 years, I really can't imagine living any other way. Working with Providence Network, you do really see the best and the worst in people. About 16 months ago, a guy named Richard came to our home to interview. He had teeth punched out, scraggly long hair, soiled clothes. He was a wreck, and he told us so. He knew it. He was much like the people we pass on the streets, the people holding signs. They know they need help, they want to change, but they really don't have any idea how. So Richard came and then, spent 16 months there. And then a couple weeks ago, we were at a house meeting. Every Tuesday night, we have a house meeting. It's our family gathering. And he's sharing with us like he does. He's very communicative and shares when things happen in his life. And he just said, I went on this camping trip last weekend, and he shares how his car broke down and how the old Richard would have welcomed the excuse to go on a binge. He then explained how instead of a binge, he spent time with God. Fighting back tears, literally, he said, and I quote, "It's a miracle that I didn't want to drink." He went on to explain how he realized throughout his time at Providence that God had literally instilled character in him, something different in him that formed new desires and new responses to life's pain. It wasn't so much that he didn't drink, it was that he didn't want to. And that was what was powerful. So really what Richard is talking about is the miracle of a new identity. And that miracle, all those miracles we get to witness, are why Providence Network exists. I'm pretty sure that when God wrote Psalm 92, Providence Network was one of the ideas in his mind. It goes like this. Planted in the house of the Lord, they will grow well in the home of our God. They will still give fruit when they are old. They will be full of life and strength, and they will show that the Lord is faithful. When people plant themselves in a Providence Network home, when they actually put roots down, God is able to literally permeate their lives and transform them from the inside out. The staff at Providence, I'm pretty sure I can speak for all of us, firmly believe that when somebody comes into one of our homes, it is because the God of this earth is pursuing them. He brings them under our roof so that he can give them the foundation they need to embrace that life of sobriety, that new life, that totally different life, and never look back. The thing is about it, like Derek mentioned, is it's not easy, and there are no shortcuts to that foundation. Addiction comes in many forms, but one thing I have learned is that recovery is always a long-term process. Whether it's recovery from substance use, self-absorption, toxic relationships, child abuse, mental illness, all those things play into the different people's stories that are in our homes. But honest relationships, which is new to most of them, takes time. Character is forged in a person's soul over time. A new identity takes root, but only over time. A lot of time. An example of this, Juanita. Juanita is an amazing woman, and she graduated in May. And looking at her on graduation day, you would never know that she had spent about 5 times in the ICU for alcohol overdose during the year before she came to us. Her graduation was glorious, but it was also painful for me because she'd become a part of our family, my family. And I looked forward to seeing her every day, and I really didn't want to say goodbye. The really cool thing was that she didn't really leave. She just moved 2 miles down the road to Clausen House. So that helped. That made it a little easier. She had made Providence House her safe haven for 2 years, and she really wanted nothing more than to extend that safety net a little longer, because she understands that her transformation is still in process. She and I hung out. I went over there a couple weeks ago. We watched TV, ate some food, laughed like old friends, and I realized that friendship, it extends far beyond our old roles of staff and resident. I used to be her care coordinator, held her accountable, but I realized this friendship is rooted in something more than just that program. That friendship is going to last for a while. I just wanted to read something really quickly because I told her that I was going to be up here talking about her because I asked her permission. And she said to me this morning at 11 a.m., she said, "Providence has changed my life in so many ways. All these years, I wanted to feel normal, and all I needed was to find the love of God and be who God intended me to be. I'm really honored you're talking about me today." So that's Juanita. So in closing, I just realized, most people in this world, they want to be happy. They want some meaning to come from their life. And Paul talks about this to me in 1 Thessalonians 2. And I believe these words are words that anyone involved with Providence can say when they look at our residents in our home. These are the words. "For what is our hope, our joy, or the crown in which we will glory in the presence of our Lord Jesus when he comes? Is it not you? Indeed, you are our glory and joy." Thank you.